So they're talking about kratom. It's a natural product that is being chemically enhanced into a more potent substance. A ban is currently in place here in Florida on a chemical compound used in some of these products called 7-OH. Investigative reporter Riley Phillips sat down with the CEO of a recovery center, and Riley joins us now. Riley, this recovery center says it's seen an increase in the number of people seeking help for kratom usage.
Yes, the CEO of Sophros Recovery in Jacksonville tells me his facility is seeing more and more people seeking treatment for kratom addiction. In fact, he says someone overdosed on kratom at his facility a few weeks ago, and he warns the current bans in place are not doing enough.
We actually had an overdose at our facility, and the client was not breathing, and we had to use Narcan to bring him back as a result of something that was purchased at a local gas station.
Nick Padlo, CEO of Sophros Recovery in Jacksonville, says that client had ingested kratom.
2 or 3 years ago, we would see 1 or 2 people a month maybe come in with kratom, and it normally wasn't their drug of choice. Now we're seeing anywhere from 5 to 10 people come in citing kratom.
Kratom comes from a tree native to Southeast Asia. Its leaves are used to make teas and powders, often used to treat pain, anxiety, and depression. But Padlo says kratom is not what it used to be.
When kratom came to America, we started to say, what in the plant is actually causing the effect? Now let's take that out and concentrate it.
Padlo tells me the effects of kratom in concentrated forms can act like morphine, heroin, even fentanyl, and the withdrawal symptoms are similar to those drugs too. A feeling Jonathan Arnett knows all too well. Arnett grew up in Nassau County, following in the footsteps of his father and grandfather and becoming a pilot. Everything changed, though, when he became addicted to heroin.
I was on the verge of divorce. I wasn't able to see my son. I was on supervised visits through the court. I had lost flying altogether.
Arnett says he tried everything to stop using heroin, even kratom.
I had tried to get sober a couple of different times along the way, and one time I would use kratom as like a replacement for heroin. Like it was basically, in my mind, was harm reduction. Like if I can do this instead of that, it's better. But what always happened was I wound right back up, with my drug of choice at the end of the day.
The problem, Padlo tells me, kratom can be found at many gas stations and vape shops, but not all the products are properly labeled.
It's hard to tell the difference between something that's just a normal kratom product or something that's a 7-OH, which has been compared to morphine.
That 7-OH concentrate has been the subject of a warning by the Food and Drug Administration. Florida's Attorney General also issued an emergency rule in August banning the commercial sale of 7-OH products and classifying 7-OH as a Schedule I drug. And the Florida Department of Agriculture recently issued a similar emergency rule requiring all products with 7-OH to be clearly labeled. Arnett is now in recovery and working to get his pilot's license back so he can get back to doing what he loves. He's cautioning others struggling with addiction about the dangers of these kratom products.
I would call it a very sketchy road to go down to think that you could, use kratom successfully, because I tried doing everything other than getting sober and fully surrendering, and it never worked.
Padlo is now calling on lawmakers to create real changes when it comes to the sale of kratom.
How do we start to talk to the FDA about starting to really regulate this product so that there's clear labeling, so that dosages are clear, and so that some of these synthetic compounds that are the most dangerous are no longer on the shelves?
The Florida legislature introduced the Florida Kratom Consumer Protection Act during the legislative session this year, but it ultimately failed, and the emergency rule that bans 7-OH products is set to expire in June. I reached out to the Attorney General's office to find out if an extension can be made or if a new emergency rule will be issued. I'm still waiting to hear back. Heather?